All right, for number 3, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find our missing sides and angles. So we need to find angle B, angle C, and this is side B, it looks like. Okay, this one's a little bit different than the last two because we only know one of the angles, so we can't, add up and subtract from 180. So we're going to have to go straight to the law of sines. We do have one pair. We know A and A, so we're going to start with that the sine of 88 over 26. And the only other thing we know is 21, so we have to use that. So we're going to use angle C, which we don't know, and 21. So we'll say the sine of C over 21. Okay, and so now we're solving for an angle first. So the setup is going to be similar. We are going to cross multiply. So we get 21 sine of 88 equals 26 sine of C. Next thing we're going to do is divide both sides by 26. And so we get the sine of C. And you can go ahead and put this in your calculator. Make sure you close that parenthesis. Okay. 21 sine of 88 divided by 26. And your calculator is going to give you 0.8072, so on and so forth. Okay, so we need to find out what C is. Okay, so this is the sine of C. So to get rid of the sine, we are going to take the inverse sine of both sides of this. Okay, so hopefully you left that crazy decimal in your calculator. Inverse sine and sine are going to cancel. So that's going to give us C. And then in your calculator, do inverse sine of that decimal that you have. So remember, inverse sine is above sine. So second sine, and then that answer that you had left in your calculator. You don't want to put in the 0.8072 because that's a rounded value. And we get 53.8, and that's an angle, so that's degrees. So 53.8 degrees. Okay, so now that we've done that, let me go ahead and jot that in there. Now that we know this is 53.8 degrees, now we can subtract from 180 and find angle B. So we can take 180 minus 88 minus 53.8, and that's going to give us that third angle, which is 38.2. So angle B is 38.2 degrees. All right, and last we need to find side B. So we're going to use law of sine again. Start with a pair that you know. So I'm going to use A and A. You could also use C and C. The reason I'm not going to do that is because this is a rounded value. That's going to introduce a little bit of rounding error into the problem. If I can avoid that, I'm going to. So we'll do the sine of 88 over 26. And now we want to find B, so we want angle B and side B. Sine of 38.2 over B. All right, we're going to cross multiply. We get B sine of 88 equals 26 sine of 38.2. And to solve for B, we just need to divide by sine of 88. Don't forget to close those parentheses when you put it in the calculator. And we get 16. A little bit more than 16, but that's close enough. All right, last one. We want to find all of this stuff. You can start the law of sines just based off of this, or you can draw the triangle. Either one's totally fine. You can see that we are missing angle A and angle C and side C. Okay, so we need to find all of those. So if you like to draw these, just so that you have it, we have angle B. So make that black. It's 117 degrees, so I don't know, maybe like that. Okay, it's okay if this is not to scale. So this is B, 117 degrees. I don't know which one's which. I'm just going to call them A and B. So across from A is 16 and across from B is 38. Yeah, clearly I did not draw that to scale, but no big deal. Okay, so to start this, I can't add up and subtract from 180. I only know one angle. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can do this one. So remember how I said you have to know at least one pair for this to work? Oh, well, oh no, I did something wrong. Oh, I see. There's the problem. Oh dear, that was too much. Hang on. I have an undo button. I just haven't found it yet. Oh, there it is. Okay. I made a little mistake when I was labeling this. So let's try again, and maybe I can do this problem. A, B, and C. Across from A is 16. Across from B is 38. Aha. Okay. I was going to say, because I couldn't do this one otherwise. There we go. Okay. Now we can do this problem, which is good, because before we couldn't. So taking a look at this, we do have 117 and 38 that go together. So we can say that the sine of 117 over 38. And what else do we know? We only know the 16, so we're going to have to do angle A and 16. So the sine of angle A over 16. All right, now that we've got that all set up, let's cross multiply. So we get 16 sine of 117 equals 38 sine of A. We're going to divide both sides by 38. So that gives us the sine of A. And this I'm going to put in the calculator. It gives me 0.37516 and some more. And then remember to find A, we're going to take the inverse sine of both sides. Inverse sine and sine cancel each other out. So that leaves us with A is the inverse sine of that decimal that I just got. So when I put that into the calculator, I get 22. This is an angle, so 22 degrees. Okay, to find angle C, I keep erasing that third side. Okay, so now that we know that A is 22 degrees, we can find angle C. We're just going to take 180 minus 117 minus 22. I'm just going to do that in my calculator. So that gives me 41 degrees. And then we're going to do law of sines one more time so that we can find side C. So again, start with a pair that you definitely know. Sine, nope, not 38. Wow, just keep messing up. Sine of 117 over 38 is equal to, and we're trying to find C, so 41 and C. Sine of 41 over C. We're going to cross multiply. So C sine of 117 equals 38 sine 41. And we're going to divide both sides by sine of 117. Don't forget to close those parentheses. So in your calculator, 38 sine 41 divided by sine 117. That gives us right around 28. Okay. So those are our answers. Now, one thing I want to mention is before we move on from this problem, remember originally when I accidentally labeled this whole thing wrong, I had this triangle that looked like this. All right, so I said, 117, and so this is when I labeled it incorrectly. If you have a problem that looks like this, notice we don't know those other two angles, and we don't know that side. So I know 117, but I don't know that side. I know the side that goes with angle A, but I don't know angle A. I don't know angle C, but I know its side. So I don't have a pair of these that I know. If this ever happens, this kind of what if situation, law of sines doesn't work. So if that's the case, we can't use law of sines, and we're going to need another law. So that's where the law of cosines come in, and we will talk about that next.